The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki.
Hello, here I am. Welcome to the show. It's the Nikki Glaser Podcast. I'm Nikki Glaser. I'm in Los Angeles. That's Andrew Collin. He's in St. Louis. He looks like he's meditating because his camera's frozen to me. He looks like he is in deep. He looks like he's about to self-immolate, like one of those monks who lights himself on fire. That he looks like he's in that pose. And then Noah, of course, is in Arizona. How are you guys doing today? Our Monday episode was done on Friday, so I haven't talked to you guys kind of all weekend.
Weekend was good.
Yeah. How was opening for David Spade?
What did I do? You mean how he ended for me?
How was just clearing the way for David Spade to just come in and do a closing set after your 10-minute reverse headline?
Well, it went well. I think I'll give myself a B. It's funny, beforehand, the texting exchange, when you don't know a bigger comedian, you don't know the etiquette of whether to joke right away, to be too jokey through text.
Right.
And and he wrote me, he's like, yeah, I'll let you know, I'm about to go on stage about dinner tomorrow, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, break the audience's legs. Like just a quick little quip, like a twist on break your legs.
Oh, I see what you were doing there. Wow, you were really turning that joke on its head.
So he doesn't write back to that.
Wait a second.
So
how long did you think before you said that, though? Like, was that just the first thing you thought of, or was that a little bit? Did you run it by Brenna? Did you run it by anyone?
I obviously didn't run it by anyone except for my putter because I was on the putting green, and I was just like, "Oh, this will be a silly little quip," and then it went radio silent, and then I go, "I'm off the show." Yeah, can you read this text and the putt?
Break the audience's legs is like something that it's so funny because men, when they text celebrities, is like the way women are when they're texting men. Like, we overthink it. Like, that's what I would write David Spade if I was trying to flirt with him, if I was like a girl, is like, and I didn't know about stand-up. I'd be like, what is, I don't want to say like, break a leg because that's like so like lame. I don't want to say like have a good set because like that's too generic. Like I want to like that is like exactly what I would write if I was like nervous to talk to a comedian and I didn't do comedy.
1,000%. Break the audience's legs. So then I should have just wrote have a good show or it sounds good. Sounds good.
A thumbs up.
So I'm
honestly,
freaking out.
Would be totally
I'm like
cool
I'm off
too.
the show.
Oh my God.
But then the next day, he goes to, as you know, audio text. And I'm like, okay, I'm reading it all wrong. And we had a great exchange before this show, back and forth, just voice, he goes, I know you're just opening for me, but you're not the opener. You're just a comedian on the show. I know that. I go, look, I have no ego in this. I'm your opener. But if I could do a short Q&A towards the end of your set and come back and we could cross-promote, that'd be great. Just fun.
Yeah.
I got myself back. I thought I was doing a good job.
And
I'm
we
like,
could both
I am
come
a
out
comedian.
and break
This
the
is
audience's
fine.
legs together. And you did like a callback to your shitty I just love it because honestly, you're one of the funniest people ever. But break the audience's legs is just it's just not your best work, but it's so funny because it almost is your best work because it's so bad. Like it's something. It's just
that's what I was going for. I really was.
Right.
I really was. I was like, I hope he sees that I'm this smart.
Like, that's
dumb.
what your aunt would
But
say to you.
I don't know if he did.
Like how what they usually say, break a leg, but I'm saying. Break the audience's leg.
Break the audience.
Yeah, he's a big voice noter, and I like those. It's fun, and it's so funny. Like you talk about trying to be like cool on text. Like I'm one to talk. Like I'm one to talk because when I do a voice memo back to him, I will do them like sometimes 4 times in a row, and I'll like recreate seemingly the things that happened that were spontaneous in the moment. Like I'll like it's just so because I want it to be funny and charming, and then I just realized like He likes me for me, not because I'm really super quirky. Like he just likes. I realize my friendship with him is really based on me just getting a huge kick out of him. Like he enjoys me because I'm a good laugher, and like I'm not like I'm nowhere as near as quick as him. I never will be. And I just have a better time setting him up and like celebrating how funny he is. So it's like kind of just a relationship where I go like, what about this joke you do and this joke? And like I just reference stuff he does all the time and he gets a kick out of it. Whereas if someone references jokes I do, I'm like, please don't remind me of how lame that was. Oh my God.
Oh my God. So I have such a funny story though. So then we do the show, it went great. The interactions in the green room, although I don't think I seemed too thirsty, whatever. Like, I honestly think show went great. I watched his set. He did great. Whatever. Great.
How funny is he?
He's very funny. He did very well. The crab story. Have you seen this yet?
Oh my God. My parents also talked to me about the crab thing. And I'm like, you mean the crab in the cabinet and the crab broom? And there's at least like 4,000 crabs per room at minimum. And how crabs are just spiders with good PR. Like I have David Spade's set memorized. Like I'm obsessed with the crab bit. It's from when he was doing Bachelor in Paradise and he was hosting down there and like there were so many crabs in his room. They just like, and there's so many that they gave him a crab broom that they were like, oh, he needs a crab broom. And so they like brought him a broom that was specific for crabs. It's so funny.
And then they give him a special bed. He's like, they just climbed 90 feet up the wall and stairs. I don't think the bed is going to stop them.
That's a great point.
So then he's like, your parents were there, so they come backstage.
Yeah.
And, you kind of tell that he, didn't want that many people back there, but he's like, yeah, no, it's all great. It's Nikki's parents and, your mom and your dad, they're great. They're awesome.
Yes.
But they're like, yeah, we're going to get out of your hair. Like we know like, the
was it before
proper
or
etiquette
after?
and then your after the show.
Yeah.
And so then your mom goes, so they say that, and then 2 seconds later, your mom goes, is that vodka?
No.
Can I grab some vodka?
Oh, no. Oh, so she had a couple drinks. We're dealing with a lit Julie Glaser. Okay.
Which is the best Julie Glaser. So fun.
Some would
she grabs vodka. She's
agree with you.
Making
okay. People who care about her and might disagree with you. Okay, but she grabs the vodka. She starts Instagramming on our account. Let's keep going. Was Spade giving her shit? Was he
dancing it up?
Oh my God. She was dancing?
No. So then she makes it with Diet Coke. She goes, "Who does this?" He goes, "That's my drink." And he goes, "Whoa, David Spade! I never thought to do like it was like someone landed
what?
on the Mars."
You
like,
mix this with Diet Coke? Oh, well, David does it. I'm doing it. I'll try it. Oh, no, you don't do that. You do Diet Coke? I knew I liked you. I knew I liked him. Just like, oh God. He's like, can I go back to the DoubleTree and like just sit alone in my sad hotel room? Anything but being around this woman.
Dude, you're nailing this so hard. So then there's a cake there with leaves that you can eat.
Oh yeah, they made him like a cake because he has
mom,
a bit about leaves or something. Yeah. Oh God.
So then he goes, "All right, I'm gonna get out of here." And then
you're not taking this cake
leaves with Bobby.
You're not gonna take this cake. They made this beautiful cake for you.
You're not taking the vodka.
And you're not taking the vodka? Well, I'm just. Do you want me to take it? I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Oh God. I mean, I could do the whole thing. You don't even need to tell me what happened. Let me guess. She drank the vodka, she ate the cake, and then she left her phone there all weekend long because she couldn't get. She did. She left her phone there all weekend long at this theater venue and was texting me from my dad's phone all weekend long. Is that what happened? Yes, it is.
I tell you, there's only you're on fire, but there is one other thing that happened. She didn't eat the cake. She
had it boxed up.
Leaves.
She took these leaves are beautiful.
Just the leaves.
I'm taking these leaves. You kidding me?
They're edible.
No one's taking these? I'll take them. No one's going to eat this cake. I'll take the goddamn leaves. Now, this is a lot of work went into these. You know how much this cake probably was? She's Googling it. How much are little leaf
Dude.
cake leaves? I bet those are
She takes the
$15 a
leaves.
piece. What is she doing with these leaves? Oh my God.
I just want you to call her because so your nephew is having a birthday.
She is
She was gonna make a
reusing
cake
the-
for him.
Oh. And she's going to study the leaves and recreate
fallen
them,
leaves.
or she's going to, yes.
No,
She's going to use them?
she's using David Spade's leaves on Arlo's cake.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing surprising about this. What are they, fondant? I'm sure they'll probably be
It's the
good by
good-
then. Arlo's birthday's in a couple days. It makes total sense. I like this move. Now, you know what? Because I bet that cake would have just gone to waste. And now she's going to get some, she'll be like, Arlo, you can eat these. And then he'll die of food poisoning. And, it'll be his last birthday, but it'll be the one that he, we all remember. Jesus Christ. I mean,
She goes, I'm making a cake for Arlo. I go, what the hell did he sell out?
oh my God.
so then he,
'cause the cake said,
she was
like,
going to make a special cake
Congrats
for
on
him.
selling out. Yeah.
Sold out, David Spade.
Yeah.
And then, the basketball game's on. Your dad has he's going to win a couple $100 if
Yeah,
North Carolina
I
wins.
got a couple
So
$100
we're
in
staying
this.
till
We're
the end
watching
of the
it.
basketball game.
I'll watch it, Jules. Jules, will you just sit down?
So then they
God,
kick,
okay. All right. Yeah. Is that my dad? Am I nailing my dad?
yes, dude. And then they kick us out with 5 seconds left in the game. They're like, you guys got to it's 10 o'clock. David left an hour ago.
Oh my God.
you
This
guys gotta
is so
go.
embarrassing. His entourage, who he didn't even ask for, are shutting the place down and making it so the union workers are going to get time and a half for overtime because they have to stay so they can shut down after my mom has stolen David Spade's cake. I mean, welcome home, Nikki
Just the
Glaser.
leaves.
Coming
Just
May
the leaves.
1st. Just the leaves. I'm taking these. Are you kidding me? EJ, shut up. I'm taking them. You shut up. I'm taking them. He doesn't care. Nikki wouldn't care. And then she leaves her phone there all weekend as collateral. I mean, yeah.
Nikki,
this
how was
is
your weekend?
I mean, my weekend was I missed that because I had to go to Vegas to do the Grammys yesterday on Sunday, and I was there at 10:30 in the morning to do the pre-show for the lead up to the red carpet, the countdown to the red carpet, and it ended up being really fun. Yeah, the pre. So it was but I got to go to the red carpet. So we were broadcasting across the way, a mile, which is in Vegas times it takes 45 minutes to get from the Grammys and the red carpet. We're at the MGM Grand, and we were on top of a parking garage above an M&M store, and that is true. So we were on the top of this 10-story parking garage on the very top, the open top, and we're in a parking lot with this a massive setup, and we did I went to the Grammys just to go on the red carpet to get some pictures because I got styled and I paid a lot of money to get styled, and I had a really expensive jewelry and a whole glam team, and I looked great. And so, but it was just funny. They're still laying down the red carpet as I'm walking on it. It's me and the guys who are constructing it. And I woke up at the crack
They're
of dawn.
ma'am, can you grab the end there?
Yeah.
Can you grab the corner?
It was.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was so early. I was there at 10:30 and for an evening Grammys, and then and they have the Glambot, which is this weird robot arm that kind of goes really fast, zoom, you go okay action, and then it goes vroom, and then it does a slow motion, so you look it's all those super glamorous shots, and it was it just sucked because I was supposed to initially wear this. So I got fitted the day before. I flew into Vegas on Saturday so I could do a fitting and go to rehearsal for the Sunday show. That's why I missed the Spade show. And I had this great outfit picked up. It was this pink skirt with all these sequins that was awesome, and then this really frilly lace black top, and my stylist and I all loved it. And then they were hey, the seam on that looks a little too like short and we're worried about you sitting. And I was like, oh, it's easily fixable. I can just flip it to the other side because it's like you could twist the stress, so that's not a problem. I just knew there was some other problem. Like I could tell like that was just an excuse to give me because they're like, we just don't like it, like they don't want to say that. And so then I could tell like they weren't like, okay, great. They were just like quiet, and I was like, they're coming up with another reason why I can't wear it, which is not the like I never found out why they didn't want me to wear it because they kept coming up with like different excuses of like, we just need a more elevated look. I mean, I think it was like it wasn't dressy enough, and so then they had me put on this other thing that it was like my second choice, which was like the one that you saw, which was the silver like really tight dress. But the problem was like the same problem I had on Dancing with the Stars. Like I was just from all this travel and like lack of sleep, I was just backed up and like had not done like a number 2 in like so long. And when you have that, like, and you're wearing a skin tight dress, like sucking in is just like you can't suck in all the way. And it just looks, you can't. So it's just the glam bot of me. I look pregnant and I just couldn't. I was so annoyed. Like I couldn't get myself to poop beforehand, even though I still haven't. Like it's just so weird when you haven't pooped in so long and all the food you've eaten is just sitting inside of you. And it's just like, I just hated that I had to wear something that was so skin tight when I was just so not, it ended up looking good,
underneath.
No. It was like complete. I was like, I had
wear underwear.
Yeah, I wore a thong that was like seamless, but it was just all like it was. Thankfully, I was out of it by. I was done at like 12, and so I was done for the whole day, and I flew back to Los Angeles. I missed the Grammys because I was like on a delayed flight going back or going to LA because I'm here all week doing daily and nightly pop. Like I had to wake up this morning. I have to wake up this morning all week at like. I think it's at 6, and then we go live at 8 to 9, and then from 10 to 11 we do nightly pop. It's like I'm doing 2 hours of a talk show every day. It's a lot. Like I don't know what I agreed to, but it is a lot. And like I also agreed to do, I mean, obviously I'm doing this podcast, and then I'm also doing more podcasts that are just only LA based. So I'm going to slowly be losing my mind this week, I think. And I just gotta poop. And it's so weird because like I am not normally someone who talks about like I have to poop. Like I'm not usually someone who just is like gross around people. But for some reason yesterday, I couldn't stop being like, I wish I would have. People would be like, you look great. And I'm like, I should have pooped before. Like, it was so gross. Like, I was just like, who am I? I am not this girl that's like, I have to diarrhea. Like, I'm not someone who's constantly talking about poop. Like, I actually really grossed out when people like overshare that much. But I was that girl yesterday. But I think it was because I was so nervous to be around like the fashion elite, like people who like know so much about fashion and like care so much about celebrities. And like, I just felt like I was not... I was just felt like I was an imposter there. So I was like, okay, I'll just go super into being the opposite of this because I can never be as stylish as all of you and like know as much about Balmain and like Givenchy and like Balenciaga and like bouclés and like all the things they were talking about. I mean, this was a red carpet. So I think I was like, who are you that you're talking about how you haven't pooped? It was like really, do you ever have those moments where you're just like, why did I just tell David Spade that like I hope that he breaks the audience's legs?
The audience's legs.
It was one of those moments where I was like, what happened to me? When did I become the I have to poop woman? Like that is not who I am, and it's not who I want to be.
I mean, you know what though? On a show like the Grammys, and it's fucking elegant. It's funny. Then it is.
It was like
funny
off
to bring
camera
up
though.
poop
It wasn't like on
because
camera. It was like, it was not good. I think I really was. That's what I do. I try to like make myself disgusting so that like people don't even think I'm trying to be like them because I know I'll never be like them. I think it was that.
Andrew and I have a surprise for you after the break.
Oh, you have a surprise for me after this break?
Yeah.
All right, Nikki, stay tuned.
Yeah, it's your mom's David Spade's cake.
Leaves. Andrew! All right, we're back from break. What is my special gift? Surprise.
Well, since you didn't really get to enjoy the Grammys, Andrew and I are going to host the post pre red carpet award show.
Oh my God. What is going on?
Nikki!
I can barely
Nikki
hear
Glaser.
you over...
Nikki!
Yes. I'm here.
Yes. Oh. Who are you wearing, and what was the process of getting ready for the red carpet
Oh
to
my
look
gosh.
like what you're wearing here?
Okay, well, I was wearing a 1970s vintage dress by someone's name who's an Italian designer that's really long, and I forgot it already. But it was from the 1970s,
Is it
and I was
Steve
wearing.
Madden?
No, I was telling people that it was by Wet Seal because I looked like a wet seal, and my necklace was
I love it.
a 1980s
I love that.
vintage Dior, and
Oh
and
my God, I love that.
also, I'm wearing a ring that I can't get off my fucking finger from the season finale of Perfect Strangers 2.
Nikki, you look exquisite.
How long ago was that?
No, it's me. Nikki, you look exquisite. Your style is Danny and Emma, total pros. What is
Totally.
in your purse?
In my purse is 2 Orgain vegan protein bars in case I get a little bit hungry before 12 o'clock when I'm wrapped. Also is my phone.
Adorbs.
And then also some lip gloss and my hotel key. I wish I had a better answer for that, but that's kind of all there was.
What the people want to know.
Oh my God, Nikki, can I get your? Can I
Yes,
get
yes,
a
be right there.
minute or 10 or something?
You, the homeless man right there.
Oh my God. So, yeah. Hi. How are you? Can you hold my sandwich?
Who's your sandwich by?
That's all. My sandwich is by Subway.
Oh my God.
It's by Dave from Subway.
That's vintage too, right?
There's
That's from
lettuce,
last season.
tomato, old cheese, and half a turkey bun. Okay, what was your artist that you really wanted to meet?
Was Lady Gaga wearing those cold cuts 5 years ago? I think I recognize them.
Cool Cuts.
No, I'm sorry, a little producer there. I don't know why I called you little producer.
Less music?
No, it's fine. This is such a busy red carpet. I can barely hear you guys.
So,
No, it's still us.
who was at the Grammys that you really wanted to meet, and who are you going to meet later?
Oh my gosh, I am not going to meet anyone later because I actually have to catch a flight at 3 o'clock and I couldn't get tickets to the Grammys, and we were actually broadcasting so far from them that there was no chance I would get close at all. I only saw a bunch of queens from RuPaul's Drag Race who were also on the red carpet super early with me, and they all were like saying things like, "Oh my God, girl, work it! You look amazing!" And it was really just that made me feel really good. And what I'm most excited about for the Grammys that aired last night or 2 nights ago, because this is Tuesday's episode, is Olivia Rodrigo winning and singing A Driver's License. I was really excited about seeing Taylor Swift maybe show up, but she didn't because she was only nominated for 1. And I can't wait to see that one song win for everything, the Anderson .Paak and Bruno Mars song. And what do they go by? Like Sonic Sound? I saw that the winners
They go by Bruno Pax.
Supersonic. I saw them like win everything, and I'm Silk Sonic. Oh yeah, Supersonic is like a different band that sang like, what did they sing? Supersonic. They were like a 90s band, kind of with like Three Doors Down and like
Supersonic.
Eve 6.
I think
but
feels.
when I saw that they won everything, I was just like, who is Supersonic? I was like, is this a new band that I've never heard of? And of course, it's. I didn't know they went by that name. When did that happen? And do you guys know the difference between
I don't know.
best record and song of the year and record and album of the year? Because record to me is an album. But really, record and song of the year are almost very similar. A record is a singular song, and it's more about like the
If I
recording
had to guess,
of it.
the guess is about.
I just told you the answer.
recording is the singer.
Yes,
But I
why
was
don't they
literally
say
saying
recording
it.
of the year
Wow,
and not
they don't-
record? Record equals like, hey, you gonna go listen to some records? That's not like want to go listen to some
Because you're saying it wrong.
record
you're saying it
of
wrong.
the year. It's record of the year.
Record of the year.
There's no way.
Yes.
Well, no one's saying it like that.
Well,
You always
maybe
knew
they
that it
should.
was not a record. It was record of the year.
I mean, look, when you go to the actual Grammys, unlike what you did, that's what you learn.
I kept wanting to
Yeah,
shoehorn
I
a
was
bit
there.
in where I was like, where I said that the Grammys was short for grandmothers. Like, why is it? Why the Grammys has to be short for something like gramophone? Oh yeah, that's it because they're like little gramophones.
That's probably
Okay, that all
it.
makes sense. Like, why aren't
Yeah, maybe.
why aren't the Academy Awards called like the Ackies or the Oskies?
Oh, that's good.
And the Emmys, what is that
Because
short
you
for?
also have the other
the
one.
Emilys.
Emily. No, it's short for Amophone.
Let's get to the news. That was fun, you guys.
Hey, man, thanks for stopping for us.
Yeah, thanks for taking our questions.
Oh yeah, anytime, you guys. I gotta get in there. I have somewhere to be, and that somewhere is getting in line for my Southwest flight. I'm B36, and pretty excited about it. B36 is also what I would. If it would have been B23, that would be a better joke of saying like that's what most people are. I was gonna say like guys are thinking
to women,
when they
yeah.
find out that they're not. I don't know. Better joke. I'm tired. Okay, let's get to the news.
Why don't you be B23 and have C34 tits?
Yes,
Something like
there we
that.
go.
You heard it here first. Yeah, you heard it here first.
Oh, it's Tuesday, folks. You know what? It's Tuesday. You know what that means. It is Tuesday. Hope you're having all the swells out there. I don't know if you've heard about this, but it's record
It is.
of the year.
I mean,
letting you
it's
know.
wild if that is it, and we've been saying it wrong all these times. What are the news headlines today, Noah?
All right. Well, this story, just a quick caveat, is not about any of Andrew's friends. Three
Okay.
Deutsche Bank executives, Deutsche Bank is like a German investment
Yes.
banking firm, got fired after charging a strip club visit to the company. The bank, however, did not fire the lone truth teller.
Oh, wow. So there were 4, and one of them ratted the others out, and the 3 got fired? Is that what I'm...
Yes.
Okay. Andrew's shaking his head. Andrew, you think snitches get bitches at the club? What's going on here?
Yeah, snitch. Yeah, no. He should get stitches.
You know what?
Seriously.
I really
because
relate
he should
to
get
this.
his appendix out.
I relate to this. This weekend, I
What,
checked in.
snitching?
No, I relate to like charging something because you're like, oh, the company's card is down. So like E put me up in the hotel this weekend for the Grammys at the Park MGM, and I didn't have to put down a credit card for incidentals. So that was like, okay, cool. They're like gonna let me have waters in my mini bar, like stuff like that. Like that'll be nice. And then I went and got a facial, and I'm like, they owe me this, you know, like I'm doing all this press for them and like I deserve this, and like I'm just gonna charge it to the room. And then I was like, I want this Grammy hat that was in the gift shop. I'm like, I deserve this because I'm doing this. And I was like, and I really like worked myself into thinking like I deserve these things, and like E has to like, they should just give them to me, and like, and I convinced myself, yeah, I'm gonna do that. And then I was in the middle of the facial, and I was like, who the fuck do you think you are? That is stealing. No one said that you could do that. They were nice enough to like put their card down. They're paying for your hotel. This wasn't part of the deal. If you want them to give you a facial, you can ask for one and see if they'd cover it, but you don't get to just like assume. And so I did the right thing. And after I got the facial, I let my, contacted E know like, hey, I got a facial. Please figure out how I can reimburse you guys for it, because it was a confusion with my card. So I did give them my card, but it like wouldn't load. So I was like, oh, just put it on the room. But then I worked myself into thinking like they'll get it. And like, it wasn't even about like, I'm going to take advantage of them because they owe me. It was more like they're rich. And it's like, you know what? It doesn't matter.
No.
It's still stealing. It's like, that's not okay. And I did not get the
What
Grammy
annoys
hat.
me,
What
annoys me is when there's a snitch and then the bank goes, oh my God, what's happening? We got to fire and ruin these people's lives. Everyone's been buying pussy on corporate cards for the last 700 years.
That doesn't make it right.
No, but it's just part of business, man. Like, you don't,
You
the
guys,
company
they
can't
make
pretend
so
to be
much
like,
money.
oh my God.
I know, but like,
What do you mean by that? Oh, you mean the people?
spend their own money on it.
I'm
Like, that's
not
not
saying
a part of you're like, that's not a
That's the
business
perks.
expense. I mean, could argue that a facial is going to make me look better and feel better on there. And I guess I could say, oh yeah, pussy would also make me feel better and do better at my job.
No.
But like, what?
Yeah. Look, no.
What?
But if they're taking out,
Look.
here's the difference. If they have clients, look, lady.
Well, that's
If they
different.
have
If it's
clients,
then
that
there's
they're taking the
entertainment
freaking
budget.
Spearmint Rhino.
Right, but this
Yeah.
wasn't the situation.
Yes.
If that was the situation, it would be a whole different story. That's not. You have a budget for entertaining, and I'm sure pussy can be part of that budget. This was guys just using the company card.
Here's a twist, though.
I know it was.
There is a twist because the restaurant
Well,
that they
if
went
they give
to,
a facial, they'll be better in the morning.
the restaurant they went to doubles up as a steakhouse. So it's basically a
Oh, I've been
steakhouse
there.
where you can buy
Rachel's?
a 20.
Is it called Rachel's?
It's called Sapphire in New York.
Oh.
And
Oh,
you
yeah.
Oh,
can
so
get
they
a
can
tw-
act
Yeah.
like it was for a dinner, and then it's really strippers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like calling your bar the library and being like, "Babe, I'm going to the library." It's like we come on. Yeah, I'm just tired of people. Like, it's just dishonesty, and I don't like the snitch. I mean, that's never a good look. But like, I really do feel like we need to call out bad behavior. I just thought it was very interesting. I'm such a I feel like I'm a really honest person, and I used to shoplift like back in the day, but I do not like to take advantage of. Even if I'm like, oh, they're rich, they can afford it, or like, let's go wild. Like, I don't like to just because someone can afford something doesn't mean you should waste their money on whatever you want, because like there's a reason that, like, I don't know, it's just dishonest. But it was weird that I could
Yeah.
talk myself into thinking I deserved it. Like, I just, you can, anything you want to do, you can really create a scenario where it's like, no, I'm doing the right thing. And I'm so glad that I had time to think during my facial and realize like, this is not the person I want to be. And honestly, it would have weighed on me so much knowing that, I probably could have gotten away with it, and they're probably going to give it to me because she was like, don't worry about it. But I was like, no, I really, please follow up with, like, I want to find a way to reimburse you, because that was on me. So, yeah, it was me kind of like trying to get away with something.
It's like when your mom took the leaves. It's like those weren't hers. Like, what is she doing?
Yeah, but David was leaving him behind. I mean, I think that's okay.
No. Your mom could get leaves anywhere. I mean,
No.
if she takes David's leaves, that's just the same thing as a guy buying stripper pussy.
Oh
Same
my
thing.
God. My friend this weekend said that she was like she was waiting on someone, and like she lives in Hollywood, and she was like waiting on this table at this like really frou-frou place she works at. And she was like, she said something to the fact of like, ooh, that sounds good, or like, was that good? And he was like, yeah, almost as good as moving to a city and thinking that you're gonna make it as an actress and really failing. And said something and just waited and had his little like, catty little boyfriends like sitting there like snickering as he just like held eye contact with her. And I'm not joking, you guys. I wrote to her and I was like, do you find this man's name? I am going to do everything I can to destroy his life. And I found him on Instagram.
Who is he? Let's murder him.
I like, and then I was like looking at him on Instagram. He seems like a nice guy. And I'm like, it's just, we need to out these people. And I'm not going to out him because like, I don't want to get my friend in trouble, but people who are rude to people and like bullies like this, they live amongst us. We don't think they're out there, because that just seems like a story that would only happen in like a Mean Girls spinoff. Like, who talks to people like that? But they're everywhere, and we work with them, we're around them, and we need to call this behavior out. It's unacceptable. And so I think that it is good that the guy stood up and was like, hey, these strippers are like, this is on the company's card. Like, it's not right. You're lying. It's not about the stripper part of it. It's like, you could, whether it's whatever kind of facial.
I don't
it is,
think
it's
those
wrong.
two guys are those. To me, those two guys aren't the same kind of guy.
But it's a
for me.
slippery slope,
I
is
just
what I'm
think-
saying. And so is her.
Whoever that
the
guy is
stripper's
that
pussy.
did that to our friend is.
Disgusting. Oh, it made my blood. But also, I was going to like DM him and go, who the fuck do you think you are? I know what you're really like, and I will never work with you, and I'll tell everyone I know never to work with you. And I was like, wait, but this guy is clearly in pain. Like, you do not talk to people like that. You do not try to make someone who's a waiter feel or a waitress feel bad about herself unless you are immensely miserable. So I was like, I don't need to do anything. It's like that. I honestly feel sad for him. Next story.
I hope she fucking shit in his food.
I know. I wish I could, but I can't.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You could try.
Sorry,
You'd
no.
be like, if you give me a week,
Okay, thousands of overdue books have been returned after the New York Public Library ended late fees. The move has inspired the return of 72,000 lost or overdue items, and a librarian said that they even got a book with a due date from 1959 and one
What?
from 1976.
What is wrong with people? That's why they're not returning books, is because they don't want to deal with the late fees.
Well,
Oh my
here's
God.
How much are the late fees? How much are they?
Well, they got rid of them,
Probably
so
like-
I couldn't tell you.
I mean, who knows? I mean, neither of us get library books, clearly.
Some of them came in with apology notes. Mm-hmm. And 30% were returned readers come from from high-need communities. The librarian explained once that barrier is gone and there is a flood of materials back, you realize how much of a barrier it really was, meaning the late fees.
No kidding. Like you have no idea. Like I would have just assumed that people are lazy and like don't want to take them back, but it's really about like I just don't want to have to pay up. And I wonder if like when Blockbuster closed, there was just like stacks and stacks of, tapes being shoved through the door of these empty Blockbusters. Like I remember having so many parking tickets in LA when I left in 2007 and from street cleaning, and I was broke, so I wouldn't pay them. And I remember moving back to LA in 2015, and it had been 7.5 years since I had lived there before. And someone said, if you wait 7 years, they just go away. And I was like,
I don't think
what?
those go away.
They did. I went to
did?
the DMV and registered a car and everything. I don't have any like
sure there's
liens
no
on my
warrant?
California. No, they just go away. I know. I couldn't believe it, but it's true. Have you ever heard of anything
So the
like
book
that?
thing, I just looked it up. It
Yeah.
was. Yeah. There's a thing called adverse possession in Florida that if you find like an empty house and you live in it for 7 years, it's yours.
It's
like,
crazy.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, like
So-
squatters laws.
Squatters' rights, yeah.
Yeah, I gotta.
Yeah.
I do you do the Libby library
Yes,
app?
I
I
do.
mean, is that just literally like, is there a certain number of downloads each book can have, or is it just like unlimited books? Like, is it like why would you ever buy a book if you could do that? Why am I buying books?
I don't know. Well, they don't have all the books that we like on there, but they do have a limit on how many people can download the book at once.
Okay, so there is like a certain number of downloads per book. Okay, that makes sense. So you might have to like wait a little bit. I do like buying books. I like supporting like authors in that way, and I love, reading on my phone is my favorite way to do it. Let's take a quick break and come back with Why Do I Care? Why do I care? Why do I care?
Camila Cabello.
It's kind of funny to think. Oh, sorry.
Wait, what were you gonna say?
No, I just love the idea of people burning books, and it's just their Kindle or their phone. Just a guy being like, "Fuck this book," and he's like, "Oh fuck, my phone!" Like just an idiot. Anyhow, but go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I like that too.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's funny.
Sorry. It's funny.
That's yeah. You didn't.
Anyhow, go ahead. go ahead.
Just break the audience's legs. Yeah, Camila Cabello.
Camila Cabello slams paparazzi for beach pictures.
Oh yeah.
And for ruining her weekend beach trip to Miami. She said, "I've never had a worse time." She claimed that she didn't breathe and she held her core so tight that her abs hurt as the paps snapped her in a bikini from all angles. I've
Yeah.
never had a worse time at the beach, and I'm not yet at the point in my journey where I cannot give a fuck. She
Right.
concluded the message by saying that she wants to get back to feeling like 7-year-old me on the beach, who was happy, silly, and breathing, pretending to be a mermaid. Free.
And weighed 45 pounds. Yeah, I saw these pictures, and I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've always loved Camila Cabello because she, to me, looks like she's like, I just am. My body is what it is, and I like she always looks great to me. But she's someone who just to me doesn't care about sucking in, and it's interesting to hear that side of her saying like, I actually do care. And it's unfortunate, like I mean, my trips to places when I'm in a bikini and my friends take a photo of me, but they're maybe trying to make me look good and it doesn't look the way I want it to. My fucking night can be ruined. It's so stupid. And I'll zoom in on certain places. So it's really, leave her alone. And like, I don't know. It's just, I'm just like, so, yeah.
I think there's like a way. There's a way that like you could take a funny photo of yourself where you look aka shitty, right? Like, oh, I look a little fat in this. I'm just like, I'm fine. But if you're not in control of even the shitty photo, it could feel very shitty. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
Like even in your shitty photos, you want to control the narrative of it. And I think that's what's hard for her. You know what I mean? So like you were saying, like someone like her, oh, I don't think that she could be upset about that. But even those pictures are controlled.
No, I would be very upset about the pictures.
I think that's what. Yeah.
She just like she is someone who, you know, isn't like stick rail thin like most of like the pop stars of her generation. And, you know, she just went through a breakup with Shawn Mendes and like she's just out there just like trying to just have a day at the beach. It just sucks because I just there's just no way easy way to like talk about this stuff. It's like we act like it doesn't matter anymore and plus size figures are fine. And then also the only reason that she's being snapped so much of is because she is a plus size figured girl. It's like if she looked amazing, they probably wouldn't even bother as much. Or if she looked not amazing, but if she looked like super tiny, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But it's like we're still fascinated by people not
what did
looking,
their bodies really look like?
Yeah, and it's just I don't know. It's so
that's
upsetting.
all the headline.
Like yesterday,
Can you believe this is what she really looks like?
Yesterday, I was really feeling like I was saying, like I felt constipated. I felt like I did this fitting with my stylist, and I've gained weight since I don't know when, but like since a couple fittings ago. Like I don't fit in the same stuff that I used to fit in. Like everything that they got for me, like I could only fit in 2 things. And the one was the thing I was wearing yesterday and they brought like 11 things and they fit, but they were just so tight that it would have been like leaving imprints on my body. And it was just like, it sucks, man. It just sucks. Even if but I really like, I was trying to do my stoicism about it. Cause I was just like, okay, and then what? Like, what's the story here? So, like, I did a stoic thing where I was reading this book about, like, how to live like a Roman emperor. And I wasn't even going to share this, but it kind of fits exactly with this. So I was, like, struggling with, they were like, okay, write down, because Stoics want to just, like, get things down to the basics of, like, we catastrophize things so much of, like, I'm going to look fat and then no one's going to like me and then everyone's going to think I'm gross and no one's going to remember me and I'm not going to have a career. Like, that's where my mind goes. If I've gained weight, then I'm going to have to wear the ugliest dress of all the dresses and it's going to look tight on me and I'm going to be uncomfortable and then I'm going to do a bad job because the girl next to me on the couch is going to look skinnier than me and everyone's going to say that and, like, just making up the story. So it's like, okay, what are the facts? And I took my problem. It said, take your problem and like, what is the fact about it? And I said, I have gained weight. The dress tomorrow on me might not look as good as it would look on a thinner person. That's just it. That's it without any like embellishment. It might not look as good as I want it to look if I were thinner and it fit better. And then I go, okay, what? Okay, then I might not get as many likes on Instagram as if I were like, you know, Hailey Bieber thin. Okay, and then what? Well, then what if, like, I just was like working out and I was like, oh, it does, first of all, this does not matter. There's going to be a next thing and a next thing. And also, like, I need to be this size today. Like, there was never a world where I was going to be thinner. Like, just get on board with your fucking body. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm not a piece of shit because my thighs are bigger and I can't get this little extra small dress past my legs. Like, yes, I could fit into that last year. But last year I was also like running a lot and because I was just like that was like what I was into. And this year I'm not. I'm busier because my life is going better. Or what, it's just, I just was like, don't waste another second thinking about what you could be because you are this way right now. And you're not bad because you are. And then I just like talked about how I like had to poop all day. Like I just like didn't waste as much time as I usually do, like obsessing over feeling like I wasn't my best self. And I wasn't, to be honest with you. Like I didn't feel as like hot as I normally do, but having that kind of conversation with myself of being like, you didn't choose this. You are exactly the size that you were always going to be in this moment. There was never another world. Like this is the size you need to be today for whatever reason. More will be revealed soon. You don't even know what this size is gonna. And listen, like I'm not saying like I'm, that anything is wrong with my weight or that I'm like it was an uncomfortable weight for me. But it only lasted 5 minutes until I was able to just like kind of shake it off like a dog after a bath. And I just like shook it off and was like, no, there's nothing I can do about it right now. What the fuck is me being a little pouty bitch gonna do anything about? Like, does anyone want to be around a girl who's talking about how she hasn't pooped in 5 days? No, but that is just the next best thing I could bring them, as opposed to a girl who's like, I'm fatter than I want to be, or whatever the fuck. So that's the end of my rant. Let's get to Reddit dump. This is your Reddit dump. It's time for Reddit dump. Hey Noah, I really want to get to this video that I've been like sitting on in my saved Reddit folder for a while. It's the employee one. This is a guy who works at IKEA. He's on TikTok. What is his name? Because he is so brilliant, and he just does all these like scenarios of things customers say, and then responses he as an employee has for these people. And this is kind of in our discussion of like people are monsters, and we need to call out our loved ones and like our friends if we ever find out they're one of these kinds of people. And I just love how this guy called them out, because it's like, if you see yourself in this, you know how annoying you are.
It's at Scott Seiss, Seiss on TikTok. Okay, here goes.
You just lost yourself a customer. You think I own this business? You think I own IKEA? I'm a part-time employee halfway through a 2-week notice. I don't give a shit. I'm telling all my friends not to shop here. Tell them. You think I want 5 other yous running around the store? Have them call me, I'll tell them. You think you hate this place more than me? I work here. I know the sale ended last week, but can I still get a discount? Do you hear yourself? We can't go backwards. Time marches on. You want the sale from 15 years ago too? When's it end, Diane? You want that price? You're gonna have to go through the quantum realm with Ant-Man. Do you know how much money I spend here? More than you should. Meatballs ain't that good. Save your money. End my time. Doesn't matter how much you spend here. We don't thank our donors. This isn't PBS. Every time I come here, my order gets messed up. Then stop coming.
No, one more after
Make
this.
my day. Every time you come here, your order's messed up. Sounds like you're making the mistake. Look inward. You're ordering the wrong shit. I'd like to speak to your manager. I'd like to speak to your mother. Tell her she should be embarrassed. She raised someone to act like a baby in public. You want to speak to the manager, please? The manager doesn't know what's going on. Haven't you ever worked anywhere before?
I just love it so much, because we've all been those people, or we all know those people. Like, is there anything you guys do when you're a retail employee that you're like, oh, listen to myself? Like, for me, it's like when I am touching things and like unfolding things, or like take something off. I hate though when retail employees will straighten up after me if I put something back and like right in front of me. I'm like, wait until I'm out of eyesight, because I know how you're like you like straightening up what I just touched. Like, I can tell your disdain for me. It's so passive aggressive.
In the dressing room, I don't like when they like check in on you. Like, I would never ask them to get me anything. I would just get dressed, go out, get the thing again, and come back into the dressing room. I just can't do it.
I would never, ever be like, well, can you find that in an 8? Like, I would never. I just want to do it myself. And when people, I know that's part of their job. And like, so, who likes that though? Who likes having an associate like help them and be like, oh my God, those jeans are amazing on you. Like trying on things in front of someone who you don't know. It's just like, I mean, I guess some people like it because why would they keep doing it?
I think it's part of their day where they can feel like they're like a boss of at least someone. You know what I mean? I feel like someone that loves to do that isn't getting it in other places.
Yes.
So they go to fucking Gap and they're like, oh, can you get this in a 6 for me? It's like, okay, yeah. All right, I'll do whatever you want because no one else is doing anything for you.
Oh my God.
I feel like maybe that's the person.
Yes.
But there is something about folding. When you fold like you were saying, like I'll fold a shirt and I know I'll try so hard to do the perfect fold.
Yes.
But it sticks out so bad and it's just like, all right, dude, I tried. You don't have to like, I know, dude, but I care. But you don't have to tell me how bad the fold. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yes. I hate that. And they like straighten the racks. And
How
I'm
do
like,
they fold like that?
you're just doing that to let me know that I'm trash and like your store is better than mine. And I want to say like sometimes I feel such trash going into like really nice stores. Like even when we were in Cabo, like I didn't want to go in that art store because I'm like, I look poor right now and they're going to like think they're better than me. And I just don't want them to think like I just think they're always like looking at me like she doesn't have money for that necklace. Like she's like looking at like, ew. But then I realized they're making like $12 an hour and they don't have money for it either. And that's not a judgment. It's just like, why do I think that people inside retail locations are like as rich as the clothes that they're not, you know, like they're not better than me.
It's
That's
like,
a good
oh,
point,
you're not you're not Mr. Gucci?
Yeah. It's like,
You're not Mr. Gucci?
but they act so cool.
You're Dave who lives an hour away. Yeah.
Yes. This next Reddit find is from warts. Sorry about this, but I found one that I could share from the one that like I'm on the most on Reddit. And it said, my aunt bought my wart. This is so weird, okay? Like the title says, my aunt gave me a $1 bill and told me that every time I look at the wart to remember it's hers and she owns it. Shit you not, the wart went away. I was about 8 years old then. My older sister had a wart when she was 28. I told her the same thing our aunt said to me and it didn't work, LOL. And I just think that's really funny because so much of the things that happen in our bodies are psychological. And for someone to be like, I just love how our aunt was like, hey, little 8-year-old, here's $1. Your wart, it's mine. And every time you look at it, I want you to remember that I own that. And then it disappeared. I think that's so cool. And I just love that woman who's just like kind of like a weirdo.
I mean, I wonder, was that her reasoning for doing that the whole time?
Oh, of course.
Or was it
yeah.
like a joke that ended up working out?
No, I'm sure someone did that to her at one point and was like, that got rid of her warts. Because a lot of times warts are like, a lot of people, they're brought on by stress because your immune system can't fight off the infection. I mean, warts are a sign of like a weak immune system, I believe, or most of them are. I'm sure people are going to write to me and be like, mine aren't. But it's like your body's trying to fight this like foreign thing, and like it's a sign that there's something wrong with your immune system. So a lot of times our immune system is weakened by stress or by just like it's. I literally meditated a fucking cold sore away just by being like, goodbye, you're done. And it went away. So it's like, I do believe that kind of mind trickery can work. Speaking of, have you guys seen Tyler Henry, Life After Death on Netflix?
No.
Okay.
Is it good?
It is so freaking good. Tyler Henry is like the celeb medium. And can you get me a large? No, I don't work here. But he's a celeb medium. And he can, like, he was like, he used to do this show on E. Speaking of, I have a show coming out on E. Welcome Home, Nikki Glaser, premiering May 1st. But he had this show on E where he would, like, talk to celebrities' dead relatives. And I never really, like, watched the show. I kind of had seen a couple episodes, and I'm like, all right. Like, he was a young kid that just had this like gift. But watching this show on Netflix, Tyler Henry, Life After Death, it is so good. He is so sweet. I love him so much. And he really, more than anything I've ever seen in my life, makes me believe that there is indeed an afterlife, and like those that leave us are somewhere out there. And like he, more than anything, has made me feel like we're not just like nothing when we die, like something happens. Final thought, like it is so wild, you guys. He doesn't even understand his gift. He's like, I don't know what this is that I'm getting. I don't know where these people are. I don't know what I'm getting, but he just scribbles on a notebook and he gets messages that is just uncanny information that these people, and I'm the biggest skeptic when it comes to this stuff, and a lot of these people are skeptics as well. And I went to his website because I was like, I want to sign up for a reading. And it says like he doesn't want to know anything about you before he meets you. He likes to go into them cold, kind of like how I like to do stand up. Like I don't want to walk out and see this theater. I don't want to like, Andrew likes to like see what the theater looks like and look at the microphone and like, and I'm just like, I just want to go into it because I don't want to like, yeah, I mean, a lot of people want to do that, but I just want to go into it cold. But I think that's really cool that he does that because it takes away anything that you're like, oh my God, he does research. I mean, this kid is not someone who is like trying to trick people or
What's an example?
Well, an example is just specific names, specific ways people died, specific inside jokes. Just him being able to really capture someone's like how they passed. What their demeanor was. Like he'll just like, it's really funny though because I mean it wasn't funny. It's like so tragic. But there was this one episode where he was he was talking to these two girls that he met these two girls at a bar. He didn't meet them at a bar, but that's where he was doing the reading. And they were at this bar, and they came in, and he's like, this girl really likes to dance. But on the way there, he was getting signs. So they always show him on the way there. And he's like talking, he doesn't drive, so he's either talking to his mom or his assistant. And he's like, he looks like Macaulay Culkin. He is so sweet and just like so polite and just like kind of like a little bit of a sassy gay guy. But he's so sweet and kind to these people. And he goes through so much because he deals with so much death and like talking to the dead and like feeling their feelings. For whatever reason, like he can just like, he doesn't even understand what he's being able to process. Like he doesn't have the answers for us, but it just is really emotional for him. So I actually feel like he suffers with a lot of depression. In fact, I know he does because his mom will be like, people don't know this about you, Tyler, but like you just stay in bed all day long on your days off. Like you don't get out of bed. And he's like, yeah, I mean, it's draining. And I'm like, oh my God, I relate to that so much because he's such a cheery person when he's like around these people and he's like so empathetic and like gives everything. And then on his days off, you don't recognize him because he's just so depressed and he's like so like I reached out to him on Instagram because I'm like, I really relate to you. I like, not that I said I relate to you, but I just love him and I want him to be okay and I want to be his friend. And not so I can like talk to my dead relatives. Like I just want to know him. But so these two girls he meets up with, they're like, he's like, so on the way here, I was really feeling like confused and like kind of like woozy and dizzy, almost like I'm drunk, like really drunk. And they're like, okay. And then they're like, he's like, I really like, I feel like I'm not going to dance, but this person like really like to dance and like likes to have a good time. They're like, that's her. She's coming through. And they're like, he's like, she's giving me these signs of like, so he does a bunch of stuff that it's like, obviously he's like, also like, I just feeling like the way this person passed, it's very confusing. And there's a lot of stuff going on. And there's like something coming from above down. Like, I don't know what it is. And I'm like, oh, I know exactly what this is. Because the girls were like, she loved country music. And then he's like, it's confusing. There's things coming from this way down. And I'm like, it was the Vegas country music shooting, 100%. And I don't want to say I nailed it, but I was like, I know what this is. And it was. But the thing that I found humorous out of this tragic situation was like, on the way out, he's talking to his assistant afterwards. Because on the way there, he's like, I'm just feeling like I'm drunk or something. Like I'm feeling really, and he starts to get premonitions even like the night before he's going into these meetings. And he never knows who he's going to meet with. And on the way out, his assistant's like, how was it? And he's like, I don't know. It was just like this girl, like she was, she got shot in the Vegas mass shooting. And it was really sad because he's like describing like she was so confused and the girls totally missed it. But he was like, I just want to let you know that she passed. Like she wasn't in pain. It happened really fast. and like she was wasted as fuck. Like that was the part that like they kind of buzzed over, was like this girl, like not only was there a mass shooting going on and people were going everywhere, but this girl was trash. And they were like, she loved to party. But it was just an interesting thing that he was able to.
It's like at the time she was riding a mechanical bull, you know, so she was having the time of her life. She just took a shot of Jaeger. I mean,
yes,
it is what it is.
It was
It is what it is. It is what I just love. Like I like those things because it's like he leads up to it. And, like, someone could guess, like, he could guess really all. Like, he's had to have really messed up.
I know. I
before,
want to see
right?
the
Like,
outtakes.
Does he say that?
I mean, there was one time, though, where he
like,
keeps saying something, and they're like, we don't know what that is. Like, we don't recognize that person.
Yeah,
He's like, it's a little old lady, and she's wearing, like, and they're just like, no. And he's like, God, I just keep getting this. Like, I want her to get out of here, but this woman keeps coming through. And then he was like, is there anyone, like, in this vicinity, like, that maybe is here right now, like, and they're like, our neighbor. And he's like, can you ask her to come out? And this neighbor comes out like in a mask. And this whole show is shot during COVID, but you wouldn't know it because they always try to hide that. This woman comes out in a mask. She's walking her dog and he's like, I'm sorry. I don't mean to involve you in this. Is there any way that you, and she's like, oh my God, like starts freaking out. Totally not a plant. Like, I know when TV is like fucking with me. I'm such a skeptic to all of it.
Yeah.
There was another time where there was supposed to be a woman there. And she didn't show up because she was like too affected by it. Like her son and her husband like killed themselves in the same year, and she like found them, and it was just so tragic that she didn't want to be on camera. And he kept hearing jingling keys. Even on the way there, he's like, I keep getting jingling keys. And so he gets there, and the two women that are there are like, no, we don't know what that is. And they called their aunt afterwards and were like, do you know anything about keys? And she's like, are you kidding me? Are you serious? And they're like, he said they were jingling keys, and she's like, I have their keys and I like play with them all the time, and they could never find their keys. And it was our big running joke. Like so many inside jokes like that. Like it's made me a true believer in the afterlife. And like, I'm just going to haunt the fuck out of you if something ever happens to me. Just know that. Like I'm going to be like, just
it couldn't be worse than now. Can I ask a question though? Does it go into like how he got his start? Because I always wonder like, how did they find out that they have this talent? Did he do like one celebrity like Madonna, and then it like
I don't know how he got
there?
into
you know
the celebrity realm so much, but I do know that his first like premonition was like about his grandmother. Like his mom just like got the phone one day, and he was just like he had a feeling his grandma died. He just like knew she was dead. Like one day he was like, I know it. He like sat up in bed or something. And then his mom came in the room and was like, grandma just died. And he's like, and then he just like, he had an old teacher come in, and his teacher was like, this kid was quiet the whole year. He was like he's like this gay kid in this like kind of rural Northern California or like Southern California county. And his teacher was like, one day I found out my mother-in-law died, and I was sitting in class and I had just taught, and like I was kind of exhausted, and I was just trying to phone it in. And afterwards, Tyler just sat there and was like, and she was like, Tyler, what do you need? And he's like, I just want you to know, like, she's really glad that you got the kids to like, she waited until she saw the kids, and it was really cool of you to get the kids there. And she's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, Lucille says hi. Like Lucille is like really proud of you. And she's like, no one called her Lucille. We all called her Nan. And I had made it so that the kids get to say goodbye to her. Like I'd rush the kids there because we knew she was going, and she like held on for the kids. What I've learned is that a lot of people hold on and like can die, like can wait to die. And a lot of people, that's what like, there's a lot of people being like, I waited till you got there, that he waited. And I'm just waiting for him to tell someone like the person doesn't forgive you. They don't like, they died in pain, because everyone's like, there was no pain.
That's what I was thinking.
They forgive you. And, stuff like that. So, I mean, I'm sure they just don't show that stuff because it's so heartbreaking. And he is such a sweet boy that you can tell that he would maybe keep that back and keep that to himself. I just love him so much. I really recommend the show. So that's our show today. Thank you for listening.
I love it. Oh, shit. Sorry.
We're on a delay.
This is the perfect way to end it. I'm sorry.
We love you. We'll be here tomorrow, and we'll find out what Andrew was going to tell us.
If your mother... Oh, God.
Listen, Dopika and Jack Sparrow.
Jack.